Charles Darwin, waited 20 years to publish his theory. Here are some surprising Darwin facts. 1. He didn't rush it with the theory of evolution. Darwin took a 5-year voyage around the world on HMS Beagle. He returned to England in 1836. Darwin had collected plenty of evidence for his research, but he was worried that his theory was too radical. He didn't present his theory of evolution until 1858. British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace had a similar idea. They teamed up to announce their findings jointly. The next year, Darwin published On the Origin of Species. 2. Darwin's voyage may have contributed to his death. After returning home, Darwin had chronic bouts of nausea. He suffered from headaches and heart palpitations. These problems would persist for the rest of his life. Darwin may have contracted Chagas disease on his travels. This parasitic disease can eventually result in cardiac damage. That's what ultimately caused Darwin's death. 3. He composed a checklist to decide on whether to marry. In 1838, Darwin wrote a list with 2 columns. The columns delineated the upsides and downsides of marriage. The marry column listed
children, constant companion and friend in old age, better than a dog anyhow, someone to take care of house.
The not marry column said
Freedom to go where one liked, conversation of clever men at clubs, loss of time.
Darwin married his cousin Emma Wedgwood in 1839. 4. He dropped out of medical school. Darwin entered the prestigious University of Edinburgh. However, he hated the sight of blood. The lectures simply bored him, so he left medical school, dashing his doctor father's dreams. 5. Darwin chose to study theology. After leaving the University of Edinburgh, he enrolled at Cambridge. Perhaps surprisingly, Darwin was a divinity student. As he later wrote,
I did not then in the least doubt the strict and literal truth of every word in the Bible.
Darwin's faith began to waver after 3 of his children died. However, he never called himself an atheist. Darwin referred to himself as an agnostic. 6. He dined on exotic animals. As a student at Cambridge, Darwin formed a gourmet club. The club's purpose was to try birds and beasts which were before unknown to human palate. Darwin ate hawk and bittern, but he couldn't choke down a brown owl. Aboard the Beagle, Darwin continued his adventurous eating. He dined on armadillo, ostrich, and puma. 7. Darwin didn't mention survival of the fittest. The phrase was first used by philosopher Herbert Spencer in 1864. Spencer's paper Principles of Biology built on Darwin's findings. Darwin himself did adopt the phrase later. He wrote of natural selection.
The expression often used by Mr. Herbert Spencer of the survival of the fittest is more accurate.
8. The Church of England apologized to Darwin. A statement was released on the 200th anniversary of his birthday.
The Church of England owes you an apology for misunderstanding you and by getting our first reaction wrong, encouraging others to misunderstand you still. Good religion needs to work constructively with good science